Natchitoches Police Department is investigating a homicide that happened yesterday evening on Lake Street. NPD officers were dispatched to the 1000 block of Lake Street in reference to a gunshot victim, where they found 24-year-old Kadarius Miller suffering from several gunshot wounds.
Miller died as a result of his injuries. This investigation is ongoing, and the Natchitoches Police Department will release more details as they become available. If you would like to report suspicious activity, please contact the Natchitoches Police Department at the number on your screen.
And a Natchitoches man is dead after a hit and run that happened early this morning on South Drive. That's according to NPD. Officers responded to the 300 block of South Drive near Parkway Drive about a fatal hit and run involving a pedestrian.
According to the investigation, an unknown vehicle was traveling on South Drive when, for a reason still under investigation, crashed into 32-year-old Quentin Nash. Nash was transported to a local hospital where he died as a result of his injuries. If you have any additional information, contact NPD at the number on your screen. This crash remains under investigation.
And we're staying in Natchitoches as 3 people have been arrested in connection to an early morning shooting on Melrose Avenue, according to NPD.
This morning at around 1:10, NPD responded to the 100 block of Melrose Avenue after reports of gunshots. At the scene, officers located a victim suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. The victim was later transported to a hospital in Rapides Parish for treatment. Their condition is unknown at this time. Police located and conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle described by witnesses at the scene and found several firearms and narcotics in the vehicle.
3 people have been arrested in connection to the crime. They are 29-year-old Deshaun McMillan, 19-year-old Tyren Sibley, and 17-year-old Jasmine Thomas, charged with attempted second-degree murder, among other charges. This investigation remains ongoing.